Now, this was definitely surprising for sure. I think can't be last year because nothing happened last year. Um, 2 years ago, I believe, at, was it Comic Con? Yes, Comic Con. Kevin Feige came out at the end of the big Marvel presentation and says, "Oh, by the way, we're doing a Blade movie with Mahershala Ali." Ever since then, we've heard crickets. It's doesn't have a release date. It's not going into production anytime soon. Well, that might be changing because Blade now has a writer. Well, one of the main writers that worked on the Watchmen TV series for HBO is now writing the Blade script. Okay. Yes. 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 1,000 times yes. Whatever gets Blade to the MCU the fastest, I'm all for. Blade is awesome. And as soon as they said Mahershala Ali, I was like, oh, oh, yes, please. And the fact that Mahershala Ali actually came to Kevin Feige, not Kevin Feige coming to Mahershala Ali, shows to me that he really cares about this franchise and is serious about it. From everything I've read, he's been very active in the search for writers and directors, so there's this passion for him to get this character done. For those that don't know, Blade is a vampire hunter who, in and of himself, is a vampire. He's pretty awesome. He basically kills the undead. It's a little out there, but the MCU is getting out there. Now, Michael, I know you haven't seen Watchmen, but I'm sure you're at least somewhat familiar with Blade. Is this a project that you're interested in, and what do you expect from a Blade in the MCU?
Yeah, they're running out of normal people in the world. That's that's the thing is that it's always funny because I'm curious the timeline, honestly, because they always say like once Tony Stark came out as Iron Man, it just kind of was the domino effect to allow a lot of people to kind of be uncovered without shocking the world into basic oblivion. So I'm really curious when they'll want to do this. The idea of like aliens and stuff is already, that's obviously in the MCU, but we're talking about like more supernatural, like you're getting closer to the supernatural. That for me is Blade in the MCU doing what he does. I'm wondering if they're like Marvel has always done. They reinvent the wheel, so I'm wondering what exactly is going to be done. But yeah, I've only seen bits and pieces of Watchmen. But if you trust that movie, trust the talent, then really at this particular point there's not a lot of actual bad things that Disney and Marvel do. Like just straight up bad. At the worst, it's like it's okay, but it's never. I don't think I've
Captain
ever
Marvel?
watched a. Seriously, I saw that twice in theaters. It wasn't. It didn't bother me. It didn't. It's not. It's not a bad film. Like, are we gonna go out there and say it's horrible? Like, no. I
I
think that's
might.
hype. It's hyperbole in the other direction. It's just yeah, but look at the bar they're setting. Like I've never really watched a Marvel movie personally, and if I'm being honest, or and said that was a waste of time. I really wish I had that time back. I really haven't had that for me personally, because I've watched movies uh, like Tenet, where I ironically wish I would have had time back. um, I don't know, man. Like I'll stay positive. I'm interested. Like I like that idea that they're gonna go with, and I love Mahershala Ali. Like brilliant casting here. It doesn't mean that it's gonna be successful, but I do trust Kevin Feige. So
I think the reason why I'm super, super amped for Blade is we know the universe is rapidly expanding. We're getting more cosmic soon, with Sword basically taking care of intergalactic threats. We're opening the threshold to the multiverse. Well, what if we open the threshold to hell and all the dark forces of the MCU? We've got some darker characters. We know that Deadpool is coming to the MCU, and it's supposedly going to be R. Will we see more R-rated, darker characters in the MCU soon? Blade is cool, but I think Blade slowly creaks the door open for one Ghost Rider, and maybe a Blade Ghost Rider movie, or other dark characters that don't necessarily fit with the vibe of the Avengers, like the squeaky clean Captain America, or the should be an alcoholic Tony Stark, but well, he's dead now. But the very distinctly PG-13. And you could do a PG-13 Blade or Ghost Rider, but they inhabit a different world and a different realm. Like Doctor Strange is the protector of the magical realm. Blade, Ghost Rider, and others, they're definitely the protectors of the underworld, so to speak. And I would be all for that. If we're expanding everything, let's expand below as well as above.